Article 725.21 ATWO specifies requirements for overcurrent protection of power sources used in Class 2 and Class 3 remote control, signaling, and power-limited circuits. The rule aims to protect the power source, such as a transformer or power supply, from overload or short-circuit conditions. The article dictates that power sources must be protected by overcurrent devices, like fuses or circuit breakers, which are rated at not more than 167% of the power source's volt-ampere rating, divided by the rated voltage. This formula ensures that the overcurrent device will trip or open the circuit if the current exceeds a safe level, thus preventing damage to the power source and reducing the risk of fire. Let's look at some examples to illustrate how this works. Example 1 involves a power source that is a 120-volt 10-volt transformer. To calculate the appropriate overcurrent device rating, we apply the formula, which is 167% multiplied by the volt-ampere rating divided by the voltage. In this case, it's 167% times 10 volt-amps divided by 120 volts. This calculation results in 1.39 amps. Therefore, according to Article 725.21 ATWO, an overcurrent device rated at 1.39 amps or less would be compliant. Common overcurrent device sizes that would meet this requirement include a 1 amp fuse or a 1.25 amp circuit breaker. The key is to select a device with a rating at or below the calculated value to ensure proper protection. Example 2 considers a power source that is a 277-volt 200-volt amps electronic transformer. Again, we use the same formula. Overcurrent device rating equals 167% times 200 volt amps divided by 277 volts. The result is approximately 1.2 amps. In this case, an overcurrent device rated at 1.2 amps or less would be suitable. Examples of compliant devices include a 1 amp fuse or even a 0.8 amp fuse, if available and appropriate for the application. Example 3 involves a power source that is a 480 volt, 500 volt amps panel board. The overcurrent device rating is calculated as 167% times 500 volt amps divided by 480 volts, which equals approximately 1.7 amps. Consequently, an overcurrent device rated at 1.7 amps or less would comply with the code requirement. Acceptable options might include a 1.5 amp fuse or a 1.25 amp circuit breaker, depending on the specific characteristics of the load and the available overcurrent device sizes. The underlying purpose of Article 725.21 ATWO is to ensure the overcurrent device can effectively protect the power source from damage during overload or short-circuit events. The 167% rating incorporates a margin of safety. This accounts for potential variations in the power source's load and manufacturing tolerances. This allowance helps to prevent nuisance tripping, which can occur if the overcurrent device is rated too close to the normal operating current of the power source. In summary, Article 725.21 ATWO provides a specific and important requirement for overcurrent protection of power sources in Class 2 and Class 3 circuits. By understanding the formula and applying it correctly, electrical professionals can ensure compliance with the National Electrical Code and provide a safe and reliable electrical installation.